Well, hello again everyone. It's the Monday of our Yorkshire trip, and one of the good things about our motorhome is that it does fit in a standard car parking space, as you can see. And of course we've briefly popped back into Hornsea to get Nikki's prescription and to post her parcels. Well, we couldn't pick up Nikki's prescription in Hornsea because we have to wait for the system to be updated, which I don't think happened until 2 o'clock, was it you said?
After 2, yeah.
After 2.
That's a very vague thing.
Yeah. So we've come a little bit down the coast and we've stopped at a place called Fraisthorpe. We can park right on the beach side here, but you have to pay £5 to park. I think we're going to go and have lunch in the cafe. Well, that was a okay sandwich. It wasn't great. It's like the old mother's pride bread, but nice cup of tea. Anyway, now we've come down for a bit of a walk on the beach. Well, I'm not sure. Do you reckon she's going to get across without getting wet feet? By Jove, I think she's done it. Well, it's a cracking little beach, this. Not sure we're going to go for much of a walk. Nikki's still pretty tired, but yeah, it's a lovely spot. In fact, I reckon it's time for a paddle. Oh, it's a little bit fresh. But still, nice to be in the sea a bit. Oh well, I suppose I'd better walk back to the van and go and get Nikki's prescription sorted out, I reckon. Okay, well, we're going to head off again to find this chemist, but we're going to remember this place because there is a little campsite just up on top of the cliff as well, which would be a great place to come in the summertime, right on the beach as well. So yeah, recommend this place really. Look at that. Well, we've found the pharmacy. There's a pharmacy just there. So Nikki's going to go over to that. I think there's a post office next to it as well. So hopefully she'll be able to post her parcels. Then, with a bit of luck, we can get on our way to our next campsite. Well, we couldn't get what Nikki needed at that chemist, and she couldn't post her parcels there at that shop either. That wasn't a post office, so we've kind of given up on that for the day. We'll have to try and do it all in Whitby tomorrow. So we're now heading straight for our next campsite, which is Toft House Farm, I believe. It's another caravan and motorhome club CL. Oh, well, we've just driven through Scarborough, and we're just in a, I'm not sure what the name of the village is, but we've just come through a village and we've seen a post office, so we've stopped, and Nikki is now successfully posting her parcels, hopefully. Well, we thought we'd have one more more try at the pharmacy. We're just outside Whitby, and yeah, it's about 4:30. We've found this chemist, so Nikki's gone in and hopefully she'll come out with a prescription. So the issue is she'd ordered, or thought she'd ordered, enough medicine to see her through the holiday, but she forgot to collect it. So when she looked this morning, she only had a couple of tablets left, which is why we've got to track down some new ones. Get what you needed.
I did in the end.
Was it a bit of a palaver?
I think I'm to blame because I went in that place in Hornsea and then I actually didn't. Then we went to another one and I didn't go back into that one.
Right.
So they were lovely in there, very kind.
Well, we've been to 3 different pharmacies there.
Now I'm just terrified to go back to my own now. That cause a problem.
Right, let's get to the campsite, shall we?
Yes, definitely.
Well, we've finally arrived at the Toft House Farm Caravan Motorhome Club CL. We're set up and it's time for a cup of tea and some crisps. I believe there's 2 CLs at this farm. The other one is called Abbey View and you can see right across to the Abbey from it. This one's tucked the other side of the road. We couldn't get a pitch on the Abbey View one, but this one is very nice. And the view here is not too bad. And the view the other direction isn't bad either. Yeah, it is a very pleasantly located site. Well, I've got dinner on. Nikki's going to have her soul food soup thing straight out the packet. And I've got the leftover sausages from a couple of nights ago. Those are caramelised onion ones. They're pretty nice in there. And there's some leftover rice, which I'm going to fry up with the vegetables. Well, more frozen vegetables. They'll defrost when I'm frying it, won't they? And got an egg. I'm going to make that into egg fried rice. There you go, darling. Green splodge and a bap for dinner.
Right, okay, thank you.
Oh, it's looking good. There we go. Sausages and egg fried rice. Right, I'm off outside to sit under the canopy and eat this and watch the sunset. And there we go. A peaceful end to the evening. Good night, everyone. Well, it's Tuesday morning and look at the gorgeous sunshine outside. It's a real change in the weather. Now I'm just putting the bed away. I noticed yesterday, and I've checked again this morning, there's a very, very slight bit of dampness coming out under the wheel arch. Now the pump isn't firing at all, so I'm pretty confident that none of the supply pipes are leaking. Otherwise that pump would fire because it's a pressure system. But I wonder if maybe the waste is dripping slightly. Let's have a feel in here and see if anything feels dampish. Yeah, this is all absolutely bone dry. I wouldn't have thought anything was leaking out of that shower cubicle because that is sealed up pretty tight. So where is that water under the wheel arch coming from? I suppose it's possible it's just dampness from driving, but the other wheel arch doesn't feel damp. I'm a little bit suspicious of that vent. That never closes off completely, and I wonder if a little tiny bit of splashing is getting in there maybe. Yeah, so there's that vent on the outside, and yeah, just under here that feels damp. That's, I don't know really. Yeah, it's just a little, it's not massively damp. Actually, it's more damp there. Yeah, come around the other side, and yeah, that's actually pretty dry. Oh well, it's not major anyway, but that's something perhaps to look into when we get back. Well, it's a gorgeous sunny day, and we're hoping to go into Whitby. We've abandoned the idea of cycling in. We did consider the bus, but obviously you're only really supposed to use public transport for essential purposes, aren't you? So we're going to de-rig the van and take the van and probably park it up at the Abbey and look round from there. Well, while I'm doing that, I've come and had a look under the wheel arch here, and you can see that really there is where that water's running off, and it looks to be coming out of that channel there, which, as you saw, was absolutely bone dry. This is the wheel arch, so the back of the wheel arch is bone dry there, so it's got to be tracking across from somewhere, and the shower is the obvious suspect. Yeah, it does look as if there's a bit of damp there, and look at the sun out of my eyes. There's a bit of damp coming through there. I'm inclined to think, you know, because the shower tray is sealed, isn't it? And we're sealed down to the shower tray. I'm going to think it's that vent. Might try blocking that vent up. Not sure we really need it anyway. Yeah, you see that vent is directly above where it's leaking, and even if you close it, it doesn't close off fully. Hard to say if it's... Well, that's an obvious hole, isn't it? I don't worry too much about it while we're away, but when we get back home, I think I'm going to seal that off. And we'll try that. Right, well, we'll leave that stuff on our pitch. I guess that'll be safe enough. Right, let's go to Whitby. Well, we have arrived at the Whitby Abbey car park. It's £7 to park for 6 hours here, so it's quite expensive, but it does save us the walk or the ride down.
Cheaper than parking in Cambridge, you old money.
Yeah, it's cheaper than parking in Cambridge, you're right there.
Off what we'd have paid on the bus fare.
Now, Whitby Abbey is, of course, the home of Count Ttxela, who is an entirely fictional character. I don't really believe in him at all, but yeah, if you did, it could be a little bit scary here.
I want to get out if you're going to do that. No, I'm out. I'm gone.
Well, there's the Abbey. Let's walk up and have a closer look. Well, it turns out the Abbey is pre-booked tickets only, so we're just going to have a look at it over the wall. Well, there we go. It's not a bad view over the top of the wall anyway. Over there doing a bit of the old dry stone walling. Yeah. At a fairly slow pace, I have to say, but I guess you can't rush these things. Cracking view. Well, there you go. This is the dead centre of town. And down there you can see one of the famous sights of Whitby, the giant town centre car park. And there, of course, is the harbour. A couple of little boats going out. What a very pleasant sight on a lovely sunny day. Oh God, it's that fella again. Well, Nick is chosen to go down the road instead of down the steps. There are apparently 199 steps. I think she's now wishing she'd taken the steps with me. There's a mighty old anchor brought up in the nets of a fishing boat, apparently. And there is the old town of Whitby itself. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today. I reckon we definitely picked the right day to come into Whitby. Well, I think that's enough of Whitby. Nicky's getting a little bit tired, so we're going to head back up those 199 steps to the van. But before we head back to the van, we've just come to have a look at the cliff path, and very nice it is up here too. And we're back to the truck. Well, what do you think to Whitby? Rubbish! Well, we're back at the campsite now, and interestingly, when I swapped over to leisure battery when we pulled in here, the low battery light come on. So I've connected it up via the charger, plugged into the socket in the van because we're through the electric hookup. But we have done some driving today, and we did a fair amount of driving yesterday, of course. So I'm wondering if that fuse has blown again. Let's take it out and check it. No, that fuse still looks good. Right, well, with the battery connected up to my mains battery charger, we've got 12.13 volts. Right, and with that disconnected and the engine not running, we've got 11.98 volts. So with the engine running, we're getting 12.5, so maybe we just hadn't run the engine enough. Who knows? Anyway, it's back to the mains charger. Never mind, it's certainly a glorious evening, whether my battery's charging or not. Oh well, that's it for the night. I've still got the battery uncharged. I'll probably close the bonnet before we go to bed. I'm going to wind the awning in and top the tanks off, and then that's it for the evening. Had a nice meal of, well, Nicky had some monkfish and I had some lamb tagine. I did go off for a quick bike ride after dinner, but I didn't film it. I was looking for some old mine workings nearby, but couldn't locate them, or they've been filled in, one of the two. Anyhow, time to turn in. Well, good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and this is about the end of our stay here in Whitby. We've got the van packed up and everything, and we're about ready to head to our next campsite. We might just call in at Sand's End and have a walk along the beach before we head over to the next site. The next site's only about an hour away, so we have got plenty of time. Nikki's not feeling too good again, so I've left her in the van and I'm going to have a little bit of a walk down on the beach here at Sands End. Well, I'm wondering if these are some caves up here. Let's go and have a quick look. Well, it looks like you could do the world's shortest little through trip here.
I'm in a hole.
Well, again, this one's just a little bit of an alcove, really. Nice to look back out of, though. Let's go and have a look at the next one. This one, again, just a little alcove full of seaweed. But, yeah, it goes a long way up. It's broken out the cliffs a long way up. And, yeah, you won't want any loose bits out of that falling on your head. Well, there you go. This is a reasonably decent-ish cave, isn't it? Let's get right up the end there. Well, yeah, we're right up the end, and what a nice view back out. Now, I suppose I better head back to the truck now. We paid for an hour's parking. Nikki will be quite happy there. She's doing some of her paperwork. Poor old girl's not having such a great time this trip. She's got some problems with her stomach. She went into the hospital earlier. Not earlier in the trip, but earlier in the year, and that's still not been properly sorted out. So she's not feeling that great, which is why she's not doing quite so much this trip. But hopefully she's enjoying herself, just being away in the van. Right, I better get back to her, I suppose. See you again in the next video when we get to the next campsite. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed it, press like. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And ring the bell to be notified when we upload something new.